She stood quietly near the corner of the grand ballroom, her modest dress a gentle contrast against the glittering gowns and designer suits. Laughter echoed across the marble floor, not from joy, but mockery. The bride and her family whispered and giggled behind champagne glasses, pointing at her second-hand shoes and simple shawl. They thought she didn't belong, a stranger who had somehow stumbled into their world of crystal chandeliers and gold-trimmed invitations. But what none of them knew, not even the groom, was that this woman had paid for everything they were so proudly showing off. And when the truth came out, silence would fall, and shame would follow. The ballroom shimmered with golden light, crystal chandeliers casting their glow over the elegantly dressed guests. Every corner of the hall gleamed with wealth, silk drapes, towering floral arrangements, and silver platters glistening with delicacies. Martha Lewis stepped inside quietly, adjusting her simple shawl as she took in the splendor. She felt small among the glitter and perfume, her modest dress and scuffed shoes standing out against the sea of sequins and satin. Still, she smiled softly. This was Olivia Gray's wedding, the daughter of the man who had once given Martha a job when no one else would. She wouldn't miss it for the world. Years ago, when Martha's husband passed away, leaving her with nothing but unpaid bills and fading hope, Mr. Gray had hired her as a bookkeeper. She'd worked tirelessly, managing accounts, staying late to fix errors, and keeping the family's business afloat. Over time, they prospered again, but success often makes people forget the hands that helped build it. Still, when Martha heard whispers that the family had fallen into financial trouble again, and that Olivia's extravagant wedding might be cancelled due to unpaid vendors, she didn't hesitate. Quietly, from her savings and late nights of extra work, she settled the bills under her own name. She didn't do it for praise. She did it because gratitude, to her, meant action. Now, as she approached a small corner table near the back, she could feel eyes on her. A group of young bridesmaids stifled giggles behind their manicured hands. Olivia herself, radiant in her designer gown, noticed Martha and leaned toward her mother. "She actually came," she whispered. Her mother turned, her lips pursing. "Martha, dear," she greeted, voice dripping with condescension. "I didn't expect you. You look quaint." Martha's cheeks warmed, but she smiled kindly. "It's a beautiful day. I wouldn't miss it." The older woman's gaze swept over her dress, shoes, and small purse. "Well, I hope you're comfortable. This is quite the exclusive event. Not everyone fits in." Olivia smirked, sipping her champagne. "She probably came for the free cake," she muttered, loud enough for a few guests to hear. A ripple of laughter followed, soft but cruel. Martha lowered her eyes, clutching her small gift. She said nothing. Dignity, she had learned, was louder than pride. She found her seat quietly as the ceremony began, watching the young couple exchange vows beneath a canopy of roses she had unknowingly paid for. The music swelled, guests clapped, and the reception began, a celebration of beauty and luxury. But beneath the polished smiles, a problem simmered. As dinner was served and speeches filled the air, the manager stepped forward, brow furrowed, holding a clipboard. "Mr. Gray," he whispered, "we still haven't received final payment for the venue." The family froze. The bride's mother frowned, confused. "That can't be right. I thought it was settled." The manager checked again, then turned toward the quiet woman in the corner. "It was," he said softly. "By her." And suddenly, the laughter died. Silence swept across the ballroom like a cold breeze, cutting through the music and chatter. Forks paused midair, glasses stopped clinking, and every curious head turned toward the back corner where Martha sat quietly, her hands folded on her lap. The bride's mother blinked, unsure she had heard correctly. "I'm sorry, what did you just say?" The manager straightened, his tone calm but firm. "The outstanding balance for the venue, catering, and decorations, it was settled last week. Paid in full by Miss Martha Lewis." He glanced at her with a small, respectful nod. Without her, this wedding wouldn't have taken place. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Olivia's groom turned, his brow furrowed. "What is he talking about?" he asked softly, but no one answered. The bride's face flushed red, not with gratitude, but with shock and shame. Her mother's lips parted, but no words came. For the first time that evening, they were speechless. Martha rose slowly from her seat, smoothing her shawl. She hadn't wanted this. Her gift was never meant to be seen or spoken of. But as the eyes of the entire room bore into her, she knew she couldn't hide. She met the manager's gaze, then turned toward the family. "I didn't do it for recognition," she said gently, her voice steady despite the tremor in her chest. I just wanted Olivia to have the day she dreamed of. Your family once helped me when I had nothing. This was my way of saying thank you. A murmur spread across the guests, a mix of admiration and guilt. A woman at the next table whispered, "She paid for everything." Another shook her head, eyes wide, and they laughed at her. Olivia's mother's face paled. "Martha, we didn't know." Martha smiled faintly. "You weren't meant to." The bride stepped forward, her diamond earrings catching the light. For a moment, pride and shame wrestled behind her eyes. "Why would you do that for us?" she asked quietly. Martha looked at her, kindness softening the hurt. Because kindness isn't about who deserves it, it's about doing what's right. She paused, glancing around the room. "You see, wealth isn't in what we wear or how grand our celebrations are. It's in how we treat people when no one's watching." Her words lingered in the air, heavier than gold. The guests shifted uncomfortably, recalling their laughter, their sideways glances. Even the bride's mother lowered her eyes. Martha picked up her small purse and gift box, giving a polite nod. "Congratulations," she said softly. "I wish you both a happy life." As she walked toward the exit, a hush followed her. Then, slowly, people began to stand, first one, then another, until half the room rose in quiet respect. Olivia's eyes welled with tears. She looked down at her jeweled gown and suddenly saw not luxury, but debt paid with grace by a woman she had mocked. Outside, the evening air was cool and freeing. Martha stepped into the twilight, her heart lighter than it had been in years. She had lost nothing, not dignity, not kindness, and in the silence that followed, the Greys realized they had almost lost something far greater, their humanity.